Hello everyone, this is Module 9, my case study. So a summary of the case. So Kim is an assistant principal at Trickett Middle School, which is located in a large metropolitan area with a high population of African Americans. She's been really trying to develop a technology-rich curriculum to teach digital literacy with high quality and equitable academic and non-academic instructional activity. So she believes that it will promote the current and future success and well-being of each of the students and adults in the building. So Kim is really having some trouble getting her staff on board with technology integration. And regardless of the various initiative and professional development opportunities that Kim has initiated in the past, her teachers continue to use lectures as their favorable presentation models. So state achievement test scores are also below expectation at that school. The assistant principal really wants to put together an emphasis on using technology-rich curriculum and assessment that take advantage of both academic and non-academic activity and resources. So she is facing some dilemma of engaging her teaching staff in production conversation about technology integration and digital literacy. There are no legal issues in the case from what I read, but some ethical issues. Student needs are not being met. The state achievement score for students are below expectations. The case did not specify what interventions are in place to address student improvement. Will the kids have one-to-one device and training on how to use these new devices? Will the parents have trainings on these new programs? Just to kind of synthesize the case in one sentence, as an assistant principal of Trickett Middle School, Kim is committed to implement a technology-rich curriculum in her school to address the issues of the current curriculum built on a deficit model that is solely focused on repairing weakness. Section 4. So evaluating some of the missing facts. So people that are involved in this case, Kim, she's the assistant principal, the teachers, the students, places, the middle school, Rockford City, which is where the middle school is located, programs, there are professional development programs. Some are in place, but some are not yet in place, and there is a free or reduced lunch program. Review and prioritize the information. I think in this case, a lot of information is missing. As an assistant principal, like, why is Kim the only person in charge of addressing the curriculum? Like, she should not be doing this by herself. There should be other people involved, like the teachers, other administrators, all the stakeholders, Board of Ed members, assistant superintendent. So a lot is missing there. Where are the stakeholders? How does the community feel about the change? How come no one else is involved? We need student voices. Even though there's low parental involvement, you still have to try to engage parents because they are the voices of the community. And the 25% that don't participate should have an opportunity to voice their opinion as well. And how does the principal intend to implement this on her own? It's a big job. Like, writing curriculum is not a one-person job, it's a team job. So she really needs a team of people to kind of help her to do this. What is her plan of action? Like, what is technological capability? Like, where are the funds coming from? Can the district afford to go one-on-one? Like, the kids don't have computers. Like, who's gonna pay for it all? I can tell that she is a visionary leader. She has really big dreams and she has a big idea, but she needs a team behind her to kind of help through all of it. Does the school have the means to support students with multiple disabilities? So the kids with IEPs and special needs, like, how are we going to support those kids? So we got to think about that too. In terms of the plan, as a future building leader, it's important for me to work collaboratively with fellow administrators, staff, stakeholders in order to make a big change like that. So I would have to create a survey, and I would send the survey out to the staff in the community to kind of figure out what type of training and professional development that they need. I would assess what current technology that we currently have and how we can improve on those technology. Because we have to remember that teachers play a big role in developing, implementing, and assessing the curriculum. Parents play a big role as well. So we need to survey parents and students and teachers to help develop a great curriculum to support our students. In order for the curriculum process to be successful, the district leadership, needs to be available too. So we need to involve all the other district leaders and the stakeholders so we can all work together with the teachers, and hopefully, they can find a curriculum developer as well if needed. As a building leader, I will need to, seek input from our teachers, students, and all stakeholders in the community. Some pros. I think, some pros are teachers will be trained on how to use different type of technology and how to incorporate them into their curriculum. The curriculum will be culturally responsive. The technology is a vital tool for our teachers to be able to use to collect formative data on students. Teachers will be able to use technology platform to support data-driven learning. So that way they can track the students' interest, their passion, their strength, and their need. And also the technology will help to deepen the education experience for our student and the teachers and the personalized learning. And the school will be able to go one-to-one computers. And some of the cons, a big change like that will definitely affect the district financially, because we're going to have to figure out where the money's coming from. Getting the staff on board with technology integration and digital literacy could be a challenge as well, because right now, the staff and the assistant principal is currently not in an agreement with this new change. So changing the teacher's method of teaching right now will be very, very hard. And also the low parental involvement could be a cons as well. So we really do need to try to get the parents to be more involved. And the change might not help the culture of the school. And also timing could be an issue as well, because as we know, timing is everything. Develop the plan. So in order to develop a good plan, we need to analyze and assess our current curriculum and make sure that we figure out where we need to improve in the current curriculum. We need to really spend time and collaborate with our administrators, with our teachers, with our stakeholders. We need to develop a curriculum team that involves each of those people. The teachers, students, parent, administrators. We need to collect data. We can't do anything without data. We know our students in that district is not doing well on the state, assessment. So we do need to collect the data and analyze the data, and we will use that data to make an informed decision. And we do have a very high, African American population, so we need to create culturally responsive curriculum. We need to start assessing, what technology that we currently have, and what we need to implement. And hopefully this plan that, I would like to put in place will improve our student performance academically, socially, and emotionally as well. And we also need to incorporate more non-academic opportunities for the students, because it doesn't sound like there are none either. Implementation and some of the reflections throughout this case. All teachers, students, parents, Board of Ed members, and stakeholders should know and participate in implementing in this plan. Everybody should be aware and participate in any kind of change that anyone wants to make to a curriculum. That needs to be approved, by Board of Ed members and in the community. Provide meaningful professional development. We need to provide meaningful professional development for our staff, so that way they know and understand how to use the new technology that we're going to be putting in place to teach our students. As a district, we also need to network with other districts to see what they do, and hopefully we could bring in some of their ideas into our district, just to kind of figure out what works for us best. We also know that there are a lot of school districts across the country that have a really, really high increasing in student access to digital devices. So a lot of schools are one-to-one. Each kid has a computer, so we really need to get ourselves up there so we can get our kids computers also, so we can be, on top of getting our kids new computers. A lot of districts have already implemented one-to-one technology, as I already said. So it's important to provide, training for teachers to make sure that the effective use of new classroom technology is improving and they know how to use it. It's also really important to remember that the student environment and their relationships play a big role in the development when it comes to creating the non-academic skills as well. And we also really need to think about how we're going to develop a curriculum that is going to connect our students to their outside interests, because we have a wide variety of students in there, very high, African American populations and Hispanics. So we really need to look at the student body and develop a curriculum that's going to connect them to the outside world, and provide collaborative opportunities so we can grow as a community. Some concluding statements. Implementing a change is very challenging, but it is necessary in order to ensure our students' success. As a future building leader, this information is extremely relevant to our learning, especially to my learning. So we really need to learn and understand, the process of creating a curriculum and assessment. That's going to be a big part of our job, as a building leader, is understand student learning. When the culture of the school is changing like that, the curriculum also needs to change to kind of address the needs of the students. As educator, we need to continue to promote the well-being of our students. We need to implement new practices to meet the need of all of our students. We need to give staff the opportunity to collaborate with one another and include them in all of the decision-making process. Our teachers are important when it comes to preparing our students for, this world of technology that we have that's full of information. So our teachers are a big part of that. And we know that, technology and digital literacy is increasing in the world of education. So we really need to stay on top of those current trends as well as, as a school community. Just some personal reflection. This case was absolutely relevant to my current role as a future building leader, and I really was able to incorporate what I learned in this course to the case study, and this information really kind of increased my knowledge on curriculum development and how leadership, impacts academic and non-academic barriers. And I learned how important it is to work, collaboratively with staff in order to make a big school improvement like that. And I also learned that digital literacy and technology play a very, very big role when it comes to teaching and learning, especially nowadays with the increasing of technology. So it's important, for us as educators to design a curriculum that is culturally responsive for our students. And my district, is one-to-one, and everything that is based around the curriculum involve some sort of technology. So I've been very lucky in that aspect. So not every district is as lucky as we are, but I know that other districts are growing as well. So let's continue to work collaboratively to build an equitable curriculum for our students. Here are my references. Thank you very much for listening. It's been great getting to know all of you, and good luck with this program.